Hey family, what a joy, privilege, and honor to be able to come to you today so that we can kind of give you a review of what God did this Sunday. We have been working on this message and we shared the first part of it maybe a couple of weeks ago, and we gave the conclusion this Sunday. And what we were trying to do or trying to portray and give understanding to is what the scripture says about how Paul wrote Timothy in the book of 1 Timothy chapter 3 of how one ought to behave his or herself in the house of God. And we found out the reasons why we should behave ourselves is because the Lord is the master. Jesus Christ is the master. God is the master of his church. He's the Father because he calls us his children. We are part of the household of faith. He also says that we ought to behave ourselves in the house of God because of the mere fact of the very the very mission of the church. And that is, we ought to be the pillar and the ground of the truth. And then he says too, that we ought to behave ourselves in the house of God because of the very message of the church. And that is that Jesus Christ came in the flesh, justified by the Spirit. He was seen of angels. He was preached among men, nations. He was believed on in the world, and he was taken up to glory. All 6 of those verbs in the Greek speak to the completion of the person of Christ as well as the ministry of Christ. And therefore we have this message, and we ought to behave ourselves based on that alone, right, proper, when we gather together as the household of faith. I love you. God bless you. Deuces. I'm out.